Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. This afternoon we're interviewing Coach Daryl Smith, the new head football coach at Lawrence High School. And while he may be the new head football coach here at Lawrence High School, he is not new to Lawrence High School. For those of you who didn't follow the Raiders very close last season, he was last year's defensive coordinator, and he was even here before that, but we'll get to that in a moment. Coach, number one, congratulations on the job. I was glad to see you and maybe one other person that was on the staff. I was hoping y'all would get it,
right.
and I'm glad you did. So, and like I say, we're not really welcoming you to the Lawrence family. We're just promoting you up to a bigger position, which is great. Glad to see that. First thing I want to ask you, we'd like to know a little bit about your background. Where were you born? Where did you go to high school? That kind of thing.
I'm from North Augusta, South Carolina. I actually played for North Augusta High School, played with Coach Bill Utze. Then went to Furman University for undergrad. Played linebacker there for Coach Satterfield and Coach Johnson. And beyond that, my first coaching assignment was at Hillcrest High School with Jay Phelps, and really enjoyed that. Then had the opportunity to move to Camden and coach at Camden High School as a defensive coordinator with Coach Jimmy Neal, who was a real huge mentor in my life. After Camden, I was lucky enough to go to Clemson University and was a graduate assistant there with Coach Tommy Bowden. And just moving through my career, I've had a couple of stops, and then coming to Lawrence with Coach Boyd for a couple of years. Had a great time. Loved Lawrence High School then, and was able to then move to Dorman High School as driver's ed. That was my first driver's ed teaching job, and Coach Gutshaw, and I was there for 12 years. Then this opportunity to come back to Lawrence High School, Coach Liner asked me to do it. Already knowing the school, knowing the district, knowing the town, it was really an easy move for me because I love the people here. I had a great time the first time here. And then, coming back, it was just something I wanted to do.
Let's back up just a little bit. When you were playing high school, did you play anything other than football?
I did. I was a multi-sport athlete. I think that's great for kids to do today. I think I played baseball, threw shot and disc and track, and and played football also.
What position on the baseball team? I'm curious.
Right field and catcher.
Catcher?
Catcher.
Oh, yes. You wore what they call the tools of ignorance then. So,
yeah.
Okay. Now, at Furman, you said you played what up there again, one more time?
I played linebacker at Furman University.
Okay. Yeah. Now, you've been coaching football a lot, and you said you was a graduate assistant up at Clemson. Have you had the opportunity to coach any other sports during your high school career?
I have. I coached track for 3 years at Camden High School, and actually coached golf at Lawrence JV golf team for a year.
Wow, that means you got to go out and practice your golf game.
Right. They had much better coaches than me. Yeah.
Well, most of the coaches that I know of that coach golf, they say that's the main reason they take it, is so they can go out there and get some free rounds on the golf course and practice their game a little bit. So just on that.
It was definitely a positive.
Now, you're going to be the head football coach here, and like we said, you were the defensive coordinator this past year. Currently, I believe you're the driver's education coordinator at Lawrence High School. Have you had the opportunity to teach other courses through your career?
Yeah, I started as a history, social studies teacher, and as social studies, I've taught psychology, I've taught U.S. history, and I've always loved those subjects, and that's what I've got my degree in, my master's in history and education at Furman.
Now, you said you were here with Coach Boyd back a few years, and when you were here with Coach Boyd, did you in any way, shape, or form imagine that you might be back here in the position you are as head coach today?
No, I never really necessarily looked back. I just moving forward, and one of the things, in my life, my faith, I've really tried to follow that, and I really try to, make decisions prayerfully and just go where I feel like that I'm being called to do. And those are things that have affected every decision that I've made in my career and in my life.
Now, you, of course, being here this past year, you're kind of familiar with the talent pool you got here, and some of the assistant coaches, and who knows, you may have some of them back this next year and you may not. That's yet to be seen. Too early to tell on that one. But I have a feeling that you've got a pretty good feeling for everything in the program. Do you anticipate any major changes offensively or defensively, or is it too early to tell?
Well, I think first the biggest thing is I think Coach Liner has done a great job of working to build this program. I think he has gotten the culture and helped get the culture that we have now at Lawrence High School, and he really has laid the groundwork for future successes here. And I do know the kids really well. I look forward to that because last year coming in, we made some moves personnel-wise after we got to learn the kids a little bit better on defense, or I did. I think this year it could be a little better that way. I think we can get kids and players in positions a little bit quicker, which gives them more time to work that position. But I think the groundwork, I think the discipline that he had, which is one of the things too that drew me back, was the fact of how he ran his team. I thought he did a good job with that, and I think I like to keep continuing to keep the discipline that we've established here, keep the culture that we've established here, which is to work hard and to just do the best that you can and love each other and work together with each other and come together as a team. And I want to keep building that as we move forward. And as far as changes go, I think even if whoever's here, there's always going to be changes. I think even if the second year that I'm here, there'll probably be changes, but I don't see anything that would be just totally drastic.
Now, a couple of questions, I'm going to let you go. Now, something you see a lot of people ask the coaches, what's 2 or 3 keys you think are going to be to the Raiders' success? And I have a feeling that you probably hit on some of those just now.
I did. I think, any football team that wants to be successful, number one, I think we have to focus on what is going to get us to be successful, not just look ahead at success itself. I mean, we have to look at, what steps do we need to take to be successful. And, I think some of those are to be disciplined. I think it's consistency in the weight room, it's consistency of coming to practice, it's consistency learning your position and your craft out there on the football field. And then we've got to love these kids, and they've got to trust us, and we've got to build that trust with them. And I think, as we get closer together as a team, I would like to see that happening. And a team that loves each other, it builds that bond. They're going to play harder, and as long as we are doing our technique and we're playing at a high level of intensity, I think we'll be okay.
All right. One last comment and question. Back during the football banquet we held in January, I had the opportunity to meet your wife. I had not met her before. You want to speak a little bit about that? Of course, you're married, kids, that kind of thing?
Obviously. I mean, I could not do this without my wife, Tori. We've been married for 21 years. She's, those moves that I've made, she's been right beside me, and I just couldn't do any of this without her. And then we have 2 kids, Gavin, who is 10, and Grayson, who's 15. And, they, obviously are just, they're so excited about this, and they're excited about being a part of it. And yes, I mean, without them, none of this would be possible.
All right. Well, again, I want to congratulate you. Thank you for taking a few moments with us. Wish you nothing but luck. If there's anything we at WLBG can do to help you, you've got my email address and my phone number.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Coach. This has been Mike Hughes and Coach Daryl Smith reporting here on Real Radio 860 and 104.1 WLBG.